In the 50s, people who were smart and looked smart were called eggheads. Adlai Stevenson, who was bald and went to Princeton, was the quintessential egghead. And so he lost to Dwight Eisenhower, the president of Columbia. Dave Brubeck was an egghead, with his horn-rimmed glasses and all those albums of jazz at colleges. Though on NPR last week, he claimed he wasn't smart. I took piano lessons from his brother Howard at the Thurl Music Building in San Diego in the 50s, which probably would have made me an egghead by contagion if it hadn't been for Sputnik, which made being smart fashionable for a while, as long as you didn't look smart. Beatniks weren't eggheads. Eggheads were uptight and buttoned down, wore black shoes instead of sandals, didn't play bongo drums or read poetry in coffee houses. What set me on this memory trip was the realization that stupidity was in style again. In style of vengeance. Not that it was ever out of style, or confined to politics. We need more show and less tell, wrote an editor of poetry about a poem of mine that he considered too abstract. The new stupidity doesn't have a name or a characteristic look. And it's not just in style. It is style. A style of seeing everything as style. Diesel jeans or glasses and t-shirts. Or a way of talking on TV. Art as a style, science as a style, and intelligence as a style too. Perhaps the egghead style, without the smarts. It's politics, where stupidity and style combine to form the perfect storm. As a host of stylized, earnest airheads emerge from the green rooms of Sunday morning talk shows, mouthing talking points in chorus, playing their parts, and with panache, and glowing with the glow you get from the fact-free diet. Urged on by a diminutive senator resembling a small, furious gerbil. If consistency is the hobgoblin of little minds, these minds are enormous, like enormous rooms. It wasn't always like this. Maybe it wasn't much better, but I used to like politics. I used to like arguing with Paul Arntzen on the Luther League bus, whatever it was we argued about. It was more like a pastime, since if things were only getting better incrementally, at least they weren't steadily getting worse. Politicians put their heads together when they had to. Frederick Marsh and French Auton gave their speeches about democracy and shared values in 7 Days in May and Advising Consent, and we muddled through. Everett Dirksen, Jacob Javits, Charles Percy, remember them? They weren't eggheads or Democrats, let alone beatniks, but they could talk to eggheads and Democrats. Not sure about beatniks. And sometimes even agreed with them. It was such an innocent time. Even if it didn't seem particularly innocent at the time, yet a time that sowed the seeds of its own undoing. I used to listen to the radio, curious as to what the right was on about, but I'm not curious anymore. Just apprehensive about the future. I'd rather listen to Take 5 or watch another movie, secure in the remembrance of my own complacency. The complacency of an age that everyone thought would last forever, as indeed it has, but only in the imagination of a past that feels fainter, and the fainter as I write. More and more distant from a bedroom where I lie awake, remembering Sputnik, piano lessons, bongo drums, and beatniks. Quaint old-fashioned Republicans and Democrats, and those eggheads of yore.